Tyrese Gibson, the charismatic star of the Fast and Furious franchise, sent shockwaves through Hollywood. His claims were explosive, alleging a dark underbelly of the industry he called home. The entertainment world and fans alike watched, captivated by the unfolding drama. Gibson's raw emotion and pointed accusations painted a troubling picture. Could these allegations expose a hidden truth about the heart of Hollywood? Gibson's words, shared through social media, were raw and unfiltered. He spoke of betrayal, manipulation, and hypocrisy within the industry. He called out powerful figures, accusing them of wrongdoing. His voice, usually associated with action-packed blockbusters, took on a tone of urgency and despair. The allegations, if true, had the potential to rock Hollywood to its core. They raised questions about the industry's culture, power dynamics, and treatment of individuals. Gibson's decision to speak out so publicly and passionately signaled a potential turning point. His story, regardless of its eventual outcome, brought important issues to light. It forced a conversation about accountability, transparency, and the responsibility of those in positions of power. Gibson's accusations were wide-ranging and serious, touching on some of the most sensitive and controversial issues within the entertainment industry. They centered on themes of exploitation, discrimination, and abuse of power, issues that have long been whispered about but rarely brought to the forefront with such intensity. He detailed instances of alleged mistreatment he and others had faced, painting a grim picture of an industry that often hides behind its glamorous facade. He accused industry heavyweights of engaging in unethical and potentially illegal behavior, naming names and providing specific examples that were hard to ignore. The allegations struck a chord with many, particularly those who had experienced or witnessed similar behavior in the entertainment world. It was a moment of validation for many who had suffered in silence. Gibson's willingness to name names, to directly accuse powerful individuals, was both shocking and empowering. It was a bold move that many saw as a necessary step towards accountability. It challenged the status quo, the often unspoken code of silence that protected the industry's elite. This code had allowed many to act with impunity for far too long. His claims, however, were met with mixed reactions. While some saw him as a hero, others were more cautious, unsure of what to believe. Some praised his courage, applauding his willingness to speak truth to power. They saw his actions as a catalyst for much-needed change. Others expressed skepticism, questioning his motives and the veracity of his claims. They wondered if there was more to the story than what was being presented. The court of public opinion, as always, was divided. Some were quick to take sides, while others remained on the fence, waiting for more information to come to light. Gibson's accusations, whether ultimately proven or disproven, held significant weight. They forced a reckoning within the industry, prompting many to reevaluate their own experiences and the culture they were a part of. They cast a harsh light on the often glamorized world of Hollywood, exposing its potential for darkness and abuse. It was a reminder that beneath the surface, there were serious issues that needed to be addressed. The impact of his words extended far beyond the individuals involved. It sparked a movement, encouraging others to come forward with their own stories and experiences. It sparked a broader conversation about the culture of Hollywood and the treatment of those within its ranks. It was a call to action, a demand for change that could no longer be ignored. Hollywood's response to these allegations was varied. Some industry leaders pledged to take action, promising reforms and new policies to protect individuals. Others remained silent, perhaps hoping the storm would pass. Only time will tell what the long-term effects of Gibson's words will be. But one thing is certain: the conversation has begun, and it is one that will not easily be silenced. Gibson's explosive claims resonated with the echoes of the #MeToo movement, a movement that had already shaken the foundations of Hollywood. This movement, born from the courage of survivors of sexual harassment and assault, had already begun to dismantle the wall of silence in Hollywood. It was a collective roar against years of systemic abuse and a call for justice that could no longer be ignored. Gibson's allegations, while not directly related to sexual misconduct, tapped into the same vein of power imbalances and abuse within the industry. His claims brought to light the pervasive nature of exploitation and the misuse of power that extended beyond just sexual misconduct. The #MeToo movement had demonstrated the power of speaking out. It had shown that when individuals come together to share their stories, they can create a force strong enough to challenge even the most entrenched systems of power. It had shown that even the most powerful figures in Hollywood could be held accountable for their actions. The movement had set a precedent that no one was above scrutiny, and that justice could be sought by those who had been wronged. Gibson's decision to go public with his claims, to use his platform to expose alleged wrongdoing, seemed to draw inspiration from this movement. His actions were a testament to the influence of the #MeToo movement, showing that the courage to speak out could inspire others to do the same. His story, like those shared during the #MeToo movement, highlighted the vulnerability of individuals within a system that often protected the powerful. It underscored the need for systemic change to protect those who were most at risk. It served as a reminder that abuse and exploitation could take many forms, and that no one, regardless of their status, was immune. The stories of those who had suffered were a stark reminder of the need for vigilance and reform. The timing of Gibson's accusations, coming in the wake of the #MeToo movement, amplified their impact. His claims added weight to the ongoing conversation about power and accountability in Hollywood. They added to the growing chorus of voices demanding change, pushing for greater accountability and transparency within the entertainment industry. The call for reform was louder than ever, and the momentum for change seemed unstoppable. In the immediate aftermath of Gibson's accusations, a deafening silence fell over Hollywood. Many of the industry's biggest names, those who had worked alongside Gibson or were implicated in his claims, remained conspicuously quiet. This silence, this reluctance to engage with the accusations, spoke volumes. Some interpreted this silence as a tacit admission of guilt. They argued that the lack of response from those accused spoke louder than any denial ever could. Others viewed it as a strategic move, a calculated decision to weather the storm and wait for the controversy to subside. The silence, regardless of its motivation, highlighted the complex power dynamics at play in Hollywood. It underscored the industry's tendency to protect its own, particularly those in positions of power. This lack of transparency and accountability only fueled the fire of speculation and distrust. It reinforced the perception that Hollywood operated under a different set of rules, one where the powerful could act with impunity. The fallout from Gibson's accusations had a profound impact on his career, shaking the very foundation of his professional life. He faced immediate backlash from some corners of the industry, with projects being put on hold and collaborations dissolving almost overnight. The once steady stream of opportunities began to dry up, leaving him in a precarious position. The controversy surrounding him made him a risky proposition, a liability in the eyes of some studios and producers. They were wary of the potential fallout and the negative press that could accompany any association with him. Gibson's once promising career, marked by blockbuster successes and critical acclaim, was now shrouded in uncertainty. The actor, who had once been a household name, found himself navigating a landscape fraught with challenges and skepticism. The allegations, whether true or not, had cast a shadow over his public image and professional standing. His reputation, meticulously built over years, was now under intense scrutiny, and the court of public opinion was unforgiving. He became a cautionary tale, an example of the potential consequences of speaking out against the Hollywood machine. His story served as a stark warning to others about the risks of challenging the status quo. Some within the industry rallied around Gibson, praising his courage and offering support. They saw him as a brave figure willing to stand up for what he believed in, despite the personal and professional costs. They acknowledged the risks he was taking by speaking out and pledged to stand by him. This support, though heartening, was not enough to completely shield him from the storm he was facing. This support, however, was not universal. Many within the industry remained cautious, unwilling to jeopardize their own positions by aligning too closely with a controversial figure. Many remained hesitant to align themselves with Gibson, fearing the potential damage to their own careers. The fear of guilt by association was palpable, and it influenced decisions at every level. The impact on Gibson's career served as a stark reminder of the power dynamics within Hollywood. It highlighted how quickly fortunes could change and how fragile success could be in an industry driven by perception and influence. It illustrated the risks associated with challenging the status quo and speaking out against powerful figures. Gibson's experience underscored the precarious balance between personal integrity and professional survival in the high-stakes world of Hollywood.